Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Everybody, welcome into Going Public. I am Harry McCullough. We'll be talking about Terrebonne Parish and their parish government this week with Councilman Danny Babin of District 7 and Kim Chauvin of District 8. So, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Summertime, I guess we're not dodging hurricanes right now, so that's always a good thing, right?
Isn't that the truth? We're dodging the heat and the rain, but hurricanes
I'll
can
take
stay
the heat
away.
and the rain.
Oh,
Yeah.
any day.
You know, last year was pretty hot, but I'll take that heat anytime over a hurricane. So we'll see if the dome can keep them away from us this year, because obviously we're supposed to have a pretty active
season, yeah.
tropical season. So we'll see what happens. You guys have both come with a little presentation, and we can talk about specific things for your district. So Kim, let's start with you.
Okay, so if you ever go to my council page, you'll find it's resourceful. It has events, it has festivals, it has things that are going on, whether we're at the point of closing gates, opening gates, those types of things. I try and keep up to date with that to have people looking at it instead of calling,
Right.
To get that information. So, and the other part is that, when I first started in, one of the things that I managed to do was work with, teamed up with Miss Paula Rome with Entergy, our representative, and our super awesome lineman, Mr. Darrell, has probably put on about 720 street lights. We've had that put back on in District 8. So, that's a lot of lights.
That's great. That's a great
Yes.
great job working together. We're seeing what Texas is doing right now.
Yes.
Having a little trouble with that.
So, and in Chauvin, we put on an Easter extravaganza for the community, but it was the community coming together. They wanted this. This is something that they crave, and it's been since like COVID and the hurricane. People are wanting to get out and about, get back in their community. The fun that we had doing this was astronomical. It was so much fun. So we look forward to doing it again. When I first got in, one of the things I had to do was call in and start make some work orders, which was to get the Acadian subdivision canal kind of dug out. We've had some people that were complaining about the drainage and the stuff in it, and we've seen them get right to work on that. We brought into Chauvin and East Houma a trash bash, which was clean up the litter. We have a huge problem with litter in this parish, and we got right into it and started picking up. So that was one of the another thing that we put together. And we have the crew, the Terrebonne Parish crew that is out there currently working on clearing the district in District 8, the ditches. And one of the things that we had was we had a lot of call-ins in summertime, so the grass grows so fast. And we had right by the east side Walmart where Swan Avenue, it's pulling in like criminal activity because the grass is so tall. They're jumping the fence and doing that. Well, I got in touch with the store director, the Walmart store director, and he was like on it in no time. So they're getting that cut, which is phenomenal because it was done being done within days. The other part was that we had and we have a lot of condemnations in this parish, and a lot of tall grass issues and debris and illegal dumping. And I'll tell you that I've been trying to call some of the management companies, because it's not just people, it's a lot of management companies that own these properties. And so we've been getting them to get on the ball and get the grass cut and come and look at these condemnations and stuff. We've been having a few problems with the airbase splash pad, but Mr. Wendell has been awesome in getting it maintained and operational for the kids because it's so hot. This is their outing. Another thing that I will remind you is please do not bring food nor ice chests, because we had a big, huge ant problem. He had to close everything down for some time, and it took a while to kill those ants on that property. By the Upper Locayo Auxiliary Gate, we have a lily problem because, they have the gate there and people were complaining. So they got out there and they had that cleaned up, and that was, nice to
The
see.
amount of lilies. Huh?
Oh, it's crazy because it's there again.
Right.
And I'm like, oh. So one of the things we had, the Louisiana Girls Leadership Academy that came before the council. And these are young girls in high school that are brought in and learn entrepreneurship and politics. And it was a privilege to be involved in that, put 2 girls up in my district. And I look to be a part of it again this year and the following years to come. So one of the things that people do not realize is by the pumps, you cannot cast net. And so it's a big problem in Chauvin. And the problem is that, as you can see in the picture, they're leaving the catch behind. And that's just one day. That's one
Wow.
little bit of problem. The neighbor that is there is going by and raking all this up, and then Clay's going back. And so it's presenting a problem with smell and different things. It's hard. You don't
You can
want
imagine the smell. Yeah.
Clay has been phenomenal. When I call him, this gets picked up. People think that they can drop this off by these little donation
That's Clay
things.
Knockham.
Yeah.
Yes, Clay Knockham.
Solid waste.
Yeah.
And he got this done in hours. And so it's
The amount
been,
of stuff they've picked up since a couple
oh
of years
my
ago.
goodness.
right?
Oh my goodness. And then Mr. Rome has been really good with the work orders that I've been putting in and getting the ditches dug and different things and that happen in public works. And as I mentioned, the condemnation, we have a ton of it going on in Terrebonne Parish. And so we have to really get to that. But it takes time. Every one of these things takes time. It's a process. It's a legal process.
Right. And when people aren't owning those houses, it could be a real issue. And like we've seen that in New Orleans, right? If it's a renter or somebody that's not owning that house, it could be an issue with titles and all those kind of things.
Yes.
So if you can get to somebody that owns multiple houses, that'd be a great way to
Yes.
clean up multiple facilities. Let's go ahead and take a break. We've still got a few slides to go when we come back, but we got 3 segments and we'll get to most of the stuff.
Okay.
So let's take a break. We'll be right back for more Going Public right after this.
Cardiovascular Institute of the South is celebrating 40 years of delivering healthcare to our patients and communities. Founded by Dr. Craig Walker in 1983 and guided by a mission to provide the highest quality cardiovascular care available, CIS has pioneered hundreds of firsts to improve outcomes for cardiovascular diseases. Through new technology, virtual care, outpatient procedures, and national growth, CIS is improving lives and leading the way for advanced care and innovation.
Everybody, welcome back to Going Public. Harry McCullough here. We're spending time with Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government, some of their members. Danny Babin is District 7, Kim Chauvin, District 8. And Kim, you were finishing up with your slides.
Yeah, so we have Lagnac Park where they were experiencing a lot of flooding going on. And so I called in Mr. Rome and he sent someone out there and started digging the ditch and the water's flowing properly. And
How important is that, right? Especially this time of year. Huh?
Yeah, you have all those kids going to play this park and it rains and then all of a sudden it's big old flooded area. It did not go well. And so I called on Mr. Tim Babin for some drainage issues like in the back of Sherwood Park, and he was able to get that done, and they have not
How
flooded.
many of
like
those
that.
trucks do we have?
That I'm not
The
sure,
vacuum
would you
trucks,
know?
I think 2. I'm not 100% sure of
Yeah.
that one, Harry.
But that's who Mr.
Yeah.
Tim Babin is? That he
Yes,
runs one of
yes.
those? I got
And it was, I called on them and they went out there and went and checked it right away.
so important.
The other thing was we had a big issue about mosquitoes, and we're going to have to take some initiative, within where we live at.
Sure.
And so I was able to contact Miss Brandy Billiot, and we talked quite a lot about it. And so she gave me some things that we could be doing. And so I put this out on my page because we will have to take some initiative. We
Right.
live in the
Same with
swamp.
catch basins, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So she's been really, really good. And I've learned a lot following her. And what they do and the stuff. You think they just spray. They don't. They trap these mosquitoes to figure out what type of
kind they
mosquito.
are.
Yes. So that was pretty good. The next one is that I have is, making a prep list for a checklist for hurricane season, because, we're in the middle of it. And if anybody needs one, I can also email them, or I can put it on a PDF on the page. But I just want people to be prepared. We get complacent and think that it's not going to come back here. And it's like, it's hurricane season, so we need to be prepared at all times.
Ida was just like a little blip off down around Cuba.
Sure.
And
Yes.
but 2 days later, we got a 5 on our hands.
Yes.
So-
And so the next one is just
Happened
showing Mr. Rome and Mr. Baskin and Babin and Mr. Seahan playing crucial roles in getting our drainage systems up to par. And we have a lot in Terrebonne Parish, because it's not just in District 8 in the east side, it's everywhere. And so one of the things that I try to get into is some of the events that go on in our parish. And so they have an Empower Her Life group of women that work together, getting people into different businesses, even stay-at-home moms. It's just empowering women to be a big part of politics, to be a big part of business, to help one another. And so I just wanted to, that's one of the things that as a council person, like they invited me in, and I really felt welcome in that part of it. And it's been pretty awesome the last few events that I've attended.
Empower Her Life is
Empower Her
That's a
Life.
local group?
Yes, it is. It is a local group. The other thing is we've had some residents of District 8, as they seen us starting to do the grass cutting, the drainage, and the litter pickup and the community events, they began to start cleaning up inside of District 8. And I find that fascinating, because I want people to join in. So I challenge people
Yeah,
each
let's do
week.
it ourselves.
Each week, do something that is partially a cleanup of District 8 in the parish.
Yep.
I would say parish-wide. And I would say that joining the local festival fund is like a VIP ticket to boosting our community spirit.
Yeah.
That really falls into everything. Like when we get out and we go to these festivals and these events, you get to meet more people, and you become an integrated community and working together to make things better.
I think you're right. Getting out and touching people, and,
Yeah.
as politicians, obviously, but just being part of a community, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can all pick up garbage. We can all kind of do those things and take care of your own catch basins. Great way to contribute ourselves. Don't wait on.
Right.
Wait on
Don't
government.
wait on.
No. We've done it. We've done a
let
good
the
bit of
sheriff
it.
and those guys do it. No, let's do it ourselves. So, Danny, let's go to you. You guys starting. I love what I'm seeing here. The Hollywood Bridge extension. I think that's going to help out traffic wise. So
Yeah,
much.
Harry, before I get into these, District 7 has changed since the last council did. Every 10 years we have redistricting, and with the shift, actually our last census was right before Ida, so it's really not as accurate right now as it really should be. But because of that, District 7 changed a little bit. I gained and lost, and I just want to give people a perspective of what it is. Kim and I actually shared the district in the middle of Bias Sally Road on the way to Cocodrie. That's
Right.
where
Yeah, I
District
know.
7 starts.
It's a lot busier
And-
right now.
But
Yeah.
he better get his part cleaned up.
And then from there, I go to 4 Point, and then all of Grand Kaya, all the way up to the jail. Then you jump over to By the Lodge, the very end of By the Lodge Road, all the way up to Crozier. Then you jump the Intercoastal Canal, and I have from Country Drive on the eastern
side,
part,
right.
with subdivisions of Lemoore, Barrios, Mulberry, Plantation Gardens, Terracane, Waterproof, all the way to the Gibson Landing, which encompasses the two big pump stations that we did, the
Right.
Hanson
Yeah.
and the Elliott Jones. Then you come back into Houma, and I have around Morningside, Sunset Avenue, Crescent Boulevard, Magnolia. Then I go into the Summerfield area. I have about a third of Summerfield now, starting at Wellington and run all the way on Mandalay, Summer Sylvain Road, Broad Street, Leeret Street, all the way past the Greenwood Bridge. So it's by far the largest district geographically.
Yeah.
But, under Department of Justice, they try to make it one man, one vote. So all of the districts, in theory, are close in number of votes together. But it has changed since the storm. I see we.
No, that's amazing. I've heard of gerrymandering, but you go off of Cocodrie
A long way.
to Gibson.
A long way.
All right, we'll take another break, and then we'll get into your slides when we
Right.
get back right here on Going Public.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Going Public. I am Harry McCullough. We're speaking with the Terrebonne Parish Council members, Kim Chauvin of District 8 and Danny Babin of District 7. So, Danny, explain what your district is.
Yeah, it's quite large. It's quite large.
It goes, like I say, all the way from the coast to all the way to the north of the district of the parish.
And, you know, to go along with what Kim's saying, listen, we do a good job in this parish. You know, we had COVID, we had Hurricane Ida, we had a loss of population. We're finally getting back on track. We live in a subtropical area. Grass is going to grow, but we are trying as a parish, and this new administration is trying as a parish to systematically get these ditches clean, get everything like it should be, get Terrebonne Parish looking beautiful again. We have a condemnation next week, 51 items on the condemnation. All right.
Wow.
So we're doing our job.
It's still mostly from the storm?
Some prior to the storm and some after, but a lot of it is still storm. Okay.
And we got some good programs, tear downs.
We really do. No, we really do. But just to let you know a few things that's going on in District 7, I don't know which slide they're going to have up. Okay, this is a picture of the new Hollywood Road Extension Bridge on By Black that we just opened with the ribbon cutting probably 2 or 3 weeks ago at the most. And this is all part of the master transportation plan of Terrebonne Parish, started way back when. And, you know, as I said when we dedicated this bridge, this is all part of the Hollywood Road plan to try to move traffic away from the inner city to the out, like the major cities have something circumventing. And what we did in the past was we widened Hollywood Road from Martin Luther King to 311. Then we widened it to 4-lane from 311 to Valhalla. We built the Hollywood Road extension to this, and then now we have the bridge complete. And it just pulls that traffic from By Black towards the north and the western part of the parish.
Yeah, I think it's going to do a great job. And just a stop sign right there. So right now it seems like traffic's flowing pretty good.
You know, it's like anything else. Something new needs to be taken into consideration, and once everybody uses it a number of times, get
used to it.
It's a state highway, remember, so the state would have to tell you if a traffic signal is needed. Now, I will tell you this, it has all been wired to make sure that if a traffic signal has to come, it's not going out for another year to have to get more work done on it, okay? But this has been a tremendous asset since this has been open.
Yeah, that's great. And you can really avoid a lot of traffic.
Oh, there's no doubt. Well, it takes traffic away from St. Charles and 182 by the Baptist Church. It takes traffic away from Valhalla and St. Charles by Rouse's because it's pulling it away from downtown.
Yeah, and so anybody going from, you know, around the Martin Luther King area, just go that back.
And again, I just want everybody to know, this was a $4 million bridge, okay? And about 2.6 of it came from Restore Act money, which is BP fine money, and the other 1.4 million came from Terrebonne Parish from 5-year capital outlay plans that we do, okay? When I say capital outlay, capital project plans that we do.
But that's the standard bridge now.
That's a standard bridge, correct, yeah, correct. The next one they have up is
the Buquet Bridge. The
Buquet Bridge, all right. This has been a nightmare. This was knocked out during Hurricane Ida.
Kim, you never use that bridge, huh?
Yeah, it's it's going to be 3 years next month that this has been out. And one thing, I had a fellow council person call me today and say, I've been questioning why we have a bridge tender on the bridge. Well, we have to maintain that because that is a Coast Guard regulation. Okay, that's from the federal government. But this bridge, finally, FEMA has come through with what we think is going to be $15+ million. What you see right here, the approaches are going to stay there, but everything else is being redesigned by Houma out of Lafayette, who are the bridge gurus in this particular area. Hopefully this is going to go out for bid within the next 2 to 3 months, and completion will be, unfortunately, 2 years from there. But we will have the new bridge in there. And again, this is $15 million worth of FEMA money, and FEMA has also kicked in a little bit that's going to help us upgrade Shrimpers Row once this is done, because it's been deteriorating since this particular event.
People haven't been using it.
And then the third one, and I'm trying to encompass the whole area. Baia Black was the first one, Grand Kai was the second one, and then this third bridge is the Brady Road Bridge down in below Falgout Canal. Right now we have a single lane bridge that goes across. Brady Road is a very popular road with the nice subdivision right there. Plus, we probably have now at least 10 to 12 charter fishermen who have...
There's industry now.
There's a lot of industry down there. Meredith McCord, who contacted me a couple of years ago, is in the process of completing a $3 million plus operation down there, and she fishes throughout the whole world. But this is this is about an $8 million bridge, and a little over $1 million of it is coming from Terrebonne Parish because we had to buy some property. We're actually moving it down probably a couple of 100 yards from where the existing bridge is. And the rest of the money is coming from state capital outlay money. So, you know, people will ask all the time, well, why can't we get the Buquet Bridge? You got this money. It's all different pots of money. And that's the way, unfortunately, that government works. You cannot take it from here just to go put it there. So know that this administration, this council is working hard to rectify some of the ills that we've had due to COVID and Hurricane Ida. And we try. And again, one other quick thing before we get in. There is a difference between the Terrebonne Levee and Conservation District, better known as the Levee Board, and Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government. We as Terrebonne Consolidated Government do not regulate the barge gates and the sector gates opening and closing. They do.
Yeah, I get that call a lot.
Yes, I imagine you do. Well, guys, thanks so much for the update.
Thank you for having us.
Very enlightening. That's Going Public this week. I'm Harry McCullough. See you guys next time.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.